Hey Sharon, I've looked over your active passive voice lesson plan and have some feedback for you. Um, so in general, I think this top part is really well done. I think it's reasonable prior knowledge to put in, and you are well aligned in this section. One change I would like to see is right here on the students will be able to. I actually count 6 different objectives in that section, and I think that's too much for one lesson plan. I think it's too much to have on your shoulders, and I think it's too much to have on the student's shoulders too. This phrase right here, understand the use value of both voices, that might be something that you would kick to a separate lesson plan, something that's more of a mastery goal. Whereas distinguishing is, I think, a legitimate goal, you know, to assume for 10th grade writing standards, and writing in those ways is also legitimate. Studying the effects both both voices have on presentation and meaning, that sounds like more of a mastery goal, and you'd want to kick that to a second lesson plan. Okay. So in this section here, I like your justification, starting out by talking about writing style and the different audiences to whom we need to adapt, and so I think that's a good way to go. I would say, you know, that experience that I talked about, funny, that piece of information I talked about in class the other day where you have kids experience before you label, I would like to see a little bit of that up here because of the fact that so I think I would like you to have a piece in here that's experience before you label. Right probably after this say and before this introduce is a good place to do that because everyone has experience with active passive voice. They may not know how to label it or why they're using it, but they know those different sentences. They've heard them before. So having some of those experiences up front, and so what it's doing is working with some pre-existing schema, you know, some pieces of information that are already in the student's heads that you're just going to bring up to consciousness and then label and manipulate. I think that might be a much more effective way to do this. Then go ahead and move through your introduction. And I like the fact that you're thinking about graphic organizers taking for students who need help taking notes. I'm glad that you're thinking about some of those students who may struggle. And then I see in red here that you have noted a whole bunch of different slides. They may just not have gotten attached because when I click to the active passive PowerPoint, only the first slide has something in it. The rest of them are blank. So get that fixed for the final part as well, okay? This section is well done too. I like the fact that you're asking questions about when might we want to use passive voice and that you have some examples ready. And one of the tricks will be when you're doing something like this, when you have these ask pieces right here, that you give enough wait time so that the students have time to respond and that you have enough wait time to demonstrate that you are not going to give them the answers, that you can sit there and wait longer than they can sit there and stare at you. So asking questions like this and then intentionally inserting some wait time I think would be really good. Other than that, looks pretty well done, so just a few adjustments to that.